Welcome to video 4. Today we're going to complete our site. So we're going to continue with styling and go from there. Okay, we're on the final stretch for this website. If we go in and check the completed one, a couple of differences here as I'd mentioned before. As you can see, the background for the site has got this kind of overlay on it, so it looks a little, I don't know, kind of like an old TV, I guess. So if we go back into the site that we're working on, we're going to hit change background, even though we're not going to, the video's in there, it's the one that we want. We're going to hit settings, and over here, these are overlay patterns that you can lay over. So you can see it kind of changes, just makes it a little less crisp. And I think that's the one I chose. Yeah, straight lines down. And you can either do darker overlay, or else you can do a lighter overlay, and it will look like this. But I'm going to stick with the darker one. You can also pick an overlay color if you'd like. Say we wanted to do purple. You can also do that. But we're just going to leave it black. And play in a loop is on, play speed. I've actually got it turned down to 50% on the other one, just so it goes a little bit slower. It's not as distracting in my opinion. And we're going to exit out of there. So let's take a look at that in preview. Looks about right to me. I'm going to go back to Get Editor. I forgot to mention this in the beginning. Wix automatically saves your work for you, so you'll notice this. You'll notice some movement up here every once in a while, but it doesn't hurt just to save it as well on your own. So just make sure you're saving your work. Sometimes it, there we go. I've exited out of here, and sometimes it hasn't grabbed what I've been working on, especially if you've been working on it for a long time, because sometimes websites take a while. So it's just nice peace of mind. Okay, so that part is done. Let us change all of these vectors. So vectors are these little art doodads, real technical term, that you see throughout the site. And the way that they've put them in here kind of just pulls the whole site together. So what I would like to do, and what I've done on the other page, is I just picked different ones, replace them with a different family of vectors, something that is a little more suited to the site that I want to have. So you can see them all there. And then I've changed the colors so that they match my site. So let's go back into the site. So we're going to click on the vector art, and you're just going to click change vector art. Once we're in the library for the vector, the one that I've chosen is down here. So you can have a scroll through. There's quite a few. As you can see, big selection, a lot of different styles to choose from. The one that I want is all the way down here. And it's just taking that time to load. So you can see the ones that I've chosen here. Those 5 circles. And the one that I have on the first part of the page is this one right here. So we're going to say add to page. And you'll see it changed it out. I've changed the sizes of all of them to 50 by 50. So we're going to come over here to our toolbar, and this little size area right here, you're going to click in there and just type in 50, and it'll automatically change your height size to match the width size in there. So that is the size that I'd like. I switch over to the completed. This one's a little bit bigger. I'm not sure why, but that's fine. And I have it as a gray. And we're we're actually going to change the orientation of this. So if you click this little swirl, circle, I'm sure there's a technical term, we're going to change it so that pointy is pointing down. I think that's 350 degrees. We're just going to move it down the page a little bit. So the reason I've done this is so that people know to scroll and that there's content underneath this landing page. So it's kind of like my little pointer. I'm just going to work my way down the page, selecting each one of these vectors and changing them out for the ones that I have selected and want to go in their place. You'll notice that there is an additional one that I've added down here on top of Get in Touch. To do that, what I'm going to do is actually just duplicate this one, and then we're going to drag it to the same spot, and we're going to change it once it's there. So to duplicate, you're just going to come up here, and you can either Control Copy and then paste it, or else you can just hit duplicate and it'll create another piece for you. So I think, can't remember if I have it in the middle down there, but we'll do that. And I'm going to go through and change all of these, and I'll show you how it looks after I have done all of that. Wix has a huge selection of these vectors and media that you can use. Alternatively, you can also find them online on other sites and just import them into Wix using that image import system I showed you earlier. So this is what we've got so far. Let's check it out in preview. Got our video. All of our vectors have been changed. See that we still have to do that Instagram. And then we just have a couple more things to do in terms of links and making sure, oh, I forgot a little vector down there, that's fine. In the case of links and making sure everything is going to the right places on the back end. And that's usually the last step that I take. So if we come over here, this is the completed one. You'll notice that if you press contact, it'll bring you down to contact. So when I say links, that's what I mean. It's just making sure that when you press on anything in the site, that it's responsive and that it's going to the right places. So hit contact there, it'll take you there as well. And then if you were to hit any of these, it'll bring you to any of my social links. Okay. So let's take care of this Instagram first. Gonna head back out of editor. What you're gonna do is just click on it. And you're gonna click settings. So you'll see you're connected as Cypress City template. So this is, I'm assuming that if you were to type this into Instagram, you'll find these pictures here that they've put in just for an example. We're actually going to disconnect that because that's not us. So we're going to hit connect Instagram. It already knows who I am. So we're just going to hit continue. And then there you go. If you want to change the layout, just hit into layout there and you can actually change it. Images per row if you want to add more images. If you want to have less images, we're going to stick with 4. If you want to add spacing in between them, that's what you do there. You can add links in here. This is another one of those things that I recommend. Just come in, play around with, see if you like it, and just do whatever works for you visually and whatever works with the site that you've built. So we're going to exit out of there. It's already saved. You can see I went up to go save it, but it's already saved. that's it. That's pretty much all you need to do for the Instagram. The next thing I'm going to do is delete. So I've deleted those extra pages. What I would like to do though is to add another link up here that says about. So we're going to create something called an anchor. You come down to more in your menu here. If you scroll down, you'll see it, anchor. And so what this does is it creates an anchor on your page that essentially you can connect it to anything. So we're going to connect it to a button up there that says about, and we're going to rename it about. And we're going to come over here to pages and menu. And down here you'll see add a link. You can add a link because we're not creating a new page, we want to create a link to this about section. So it's already highlighted here, about, done, and we're gonna call it about. And there we go. So if we scroll up to the top of our page, you'll notice that about now exists on the menu, and if we head out into preview and click about, that'll bring us there. Let's go back into editor. We're going to double check our button. It's linked to contact us. Perfect. That's what we want. The last thing we're going to check here is this get in touch. I'm going to click on the form and highlight it and hit form settings. I'm going to head into settings, contact form. So get notified by email every time a visitor submits a form. Yes. This Monday Blues. That's my email. So any form that gets submitted, if we head out into our dashboard, which is out here, you're going to get this is your content manager. So anybody who submits a form in here, the information is transported out here. So you'll be able to see this, and this is like a little bit, once you start getting into this kind of marketing, I recommend this would be a completely different lesson actually, but just so you know, this is where all that information that's being collected here is going. And that's all set up the right way. And again, down here, hit subscribers, forms, settings, manage subscribers. We're going to go to settings, email notifications. Yep, it's going to the right place. What I did down here, I didn't want to deal with this, so I just deleted it. Move this up a little bit. There we are. And I also moved this up a little bit too. In this last step, I'm going to go over and just kind of fine-tune everything just to make sure that it's looking exactly the way that I want it to. And you might notice that it takes a little bit of time. Like I often will work on a website and then leave it for a night or a couple of days and come back to it. And just because your eyes sometimes get tired, and so you'll catch things that you didn't catch if you were just kind of doing a long haul web design. And the last thing we're going to do is head over to the mobile view of the site and just adjust everything in here. Sometimes when it transfers over, it looks a little like it doesn't look the same as it does on our full page site. So you have to come in and just manually adjust a few things to make sure that it is appealing to the eye and also looks really great on your phone. So just deleting little extra spaces in there. Looks good. These look good as well. All right, that's done. So guess what? We've completed the site. Yay! Preview this. And then by comparison, the original site. Start from the top. Sorry, there's my bottom to the top again. So the site is complete now. You can take a look, scroll through, and make sure everything is to your liking. One thing that you're going to do after you've completed the site is go ahead and publish it so the rest of the world can see it as well. Another thing I like to have done is have a friend look it over just to make sure that the spelling's correct, your grammar's correct, just so you're putting your best foot forward. And don't forget to follow Create to Learn. This is a program by Create to Learn at Home, which is an initiative through taking it global in partnership with Imaginative. And I'm so happy to have been able to teach you a little bit about building a Wix website. My name is Monday Blues. Thank you so much.